Good morning, good late morning to YouTubers. And we thought we'd go ahead and give you a view, and we're going to punch this up. By the way, we broadcast to our members in Zoom, which is high definition. YouTube now, I believe, now has a high def, I think 1080p. So if we haven't mentioned, you probably want to put it into high def, and it'll be a much better image. We're going to just create some awareness here. And if you have any questions, let me tweet this out here, and we'll share with you what we are up to. Hope you're having a good trading morning. It's been pretty modest here. We're doing something very specific, and but it's your opportunity. We're not trying to demonstrate an outcome, but it's just trying to make ourselves available to answer any questions you might have. And there we go. And we got a little social media out there. We appreciate the likes. We appreciate the retweets. We get more of an audience. We might be more apt to do some of these little free sessions, which is just a chance for you to see what we're up to and how we're going about it. It's really been a wonderful trading morning. We're doing something very specific. We haven't had a fantastic outcome here, but that's okay. All of the trades since midnight have been fully robotic, and we're down $118. So we're not too concerned. This chart that you see is perfectly matching Swing Machine up here. And we've asked Swing Machine to trade the 1 minute in the direction of the 3 and the 5, which is what it's doing. So it's a multi-time frame. We also, you can see these ball markers. These are marking the swing points, which could be traded probably in and of themselves. So we could do this mechanically, visually, or we can ask the equipment to try to do the trading, which is what we're doing, and giving you a chance to see what that might look like. So as the orders populate, we will come back and describe to you why the order went in, and we'll see how we do. The trade has it's multi-dimensional, time dimensional, so everything's got to line up to go in. So it's very specific, but there are also about 3 or 4, well, there's actually, at least 3, probably 4 different reasons to come out, which we will do frequently. So there'll be a whole host of criteria, conditional statements that have to be met in order for the trade to go in, and by the computer. And once the trade is on, though, there's a whole host of conditional statements that could remove the trade, and also other exits, 3 or 4 others. So there's one specific way in and about 3 or 4 other ways to get out. We want to try to limit our exposure. So we've been trading since midnight. It's been all these different trades, and we're down $118 because we're also experimenting with how tightly can we control our risk, and that's what we're attempting to do here. If you have any questions, you're welcome to visit the website. You're welcome to post them in YouTube. We'll probably be on until we're thinking about noon. And by the way, if this runs up into a rip and then long, it will go long again from this configuration. But as the orders come in, we'll let you know what's going on. So we are, in fact, many other times we've been doing videos and showing Swing Machine and showing other systems trading. And here we're actually trading Swing Machine in a very specific configuration. Now, we may have members that are doing it in a number of different ways. That's even though we have these tools, the flexibility is built in so that you can do any number of things yourself. Any questions, let us know. Here we go. We're just letting folks know the robot is trading multiple time frames, actually three different frames. You could trade more, and there's a lot of flexibility. Maybe a different set of time frames would be better. And it has so multiple conditions have to be true in order for the trade to go in. And we're about to probably get another trade long here in a moment, and then multiple exits built in to exit the trade, hopefully with a profit, and thereby the thought being minimize risk. All of the trades that you'll see going in are being done by a machine. And there it is. There's and it's off of this trigger right up here. And on the 1 minute, she went long, and she's in the direction the 3 and the 5 are driving the trend up. So we'll see how this trade works out. Doesn't look that great to me, to my eye. I'm not crazy about the position, but I'm not going to second guess it for right now. I could, right? I could sit here and apply my discretionary trading skill, my mechanical skill, and choose to wave trades off, or take profits a little bit early, and maybe we will still do that. I'm going to let this play out though, but it looks a little. I'm thinking just a little extended here. I'm not enamored with taking that trade up there, but we're going to let it play out. Now we could go up, right? We're going to let it continue to run. I can see that resistance point, which she failed to break out last time, right here, this 15,178. So I could go up and use that as an excuse to grab that $120 and make ourselves even here. However, if she does break through it, there could be a whole bunch more money to be made above that. And the machine does have the trade, right? So why, let's let it give it a chance to do its thing, right? I don't want to be in there second guessing and doing that. I mean, that's what everyone else is doing all day, every day. And there's a place and a time for that, but boy, it can get really old. Now, this trade, by the way, that the machine has, it's got a guaranteed winner. It is not going to lose money. It's guaranteed. So we just got to stay out of the way. Let it run. If you have any questions on what it is you're seeing, what it is we're doing, what it is you're doing, if you got questions, feel free. It's a great opportunity for you. We're only going to be here till about noon, is the plan. As you can see, yep, there's another little swing high there at 15,177, and she's just kind of busted through that. Could be some short covering stops up there, and the machine will go get them. We've been trading this way since midnight. We're down about $119, no big deal, but the machine is going to keep forcing the market to pitch to us. It's trading and there it is. Boom. There's the trade. So there's $325. We worked hard for it, right? The computer's been on for, for quite a bit, and it's had quite a few trades. We could choose to stop right here, but we're going to continue to run up until about noon, for better or for worse, as to demonstrate what's possible. 20 trading days in a month. If you make $300 for the next 20 trading days, that's $6,000, folks. 6 grand. This is what our members are doing. They're not listening to me like, oh, I got, I think of this, I think of that. And, they're not doing that. They're not. Right. And by watching Swing Machine and by watching the chart at the same time, though, with some of the tools, we got other tools that we can put on here, your trading will become better. It is like having bumpers on a bowling alley, or like going to a batting cage. It's just going to make you better. Good morning, Tina. Good to see you. Tina, this is with all the videos that you've seen, this is new. This is new. Swing Machine is trading now multiple time frames on a chart. We've had a breakthrough in our coding, and we're now able. So we've always been able to trade Swing Machine on a single time frame. We've been able to trade it on a multiple time frame, but it was not as precise as it is now. And now we've had a breakthrough in our coding. It's taken us all this time, but so it's a beautiful thing. And what's happening is the 1 minute is taking longs only in the direction of the 3 and the 5. If 3 and 5 are long, then the 1 minute will go long. If the 1 minute goes into a dip and it's taken a profit, for instance, like if we've taken a profit here and it goes into a dip, as it did down in here, and then goes long again, it will go long again. But these are all conditions that are hard-coded in. However, also hard-coded into the code is the flexibility that a person could program, through some simple inputs, saying, no, I only want the absolute cream. I don't want to trade that aggressively. Maybe you want the 5 minute. You still have we're building in those controls as we speak now, right? So we're actually vetting as we go the execution, and the execution has been flawless. So we're very, very happy with it. And so that's what we're doing. So you're going to be seeing probably a fair amount of Swing Machine here doing its thing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, also too, when a person has this on their desktop, maybe we're staying with 135 because that's kind of my favorite, but they're now going to be able to put the program in to a chart. See, let me show you. If I come here, see the data edit symbol? There are, you don't see them here. There are three data streams here in this chart. Data 1, data 2, data 3. The 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute. They're all flowing into the chart, those data streams. You just don't see them. You see one, the 1 minute, because that's where it's taking the trade from. But the program is compressing, the algo is compressing 3 and 5. And I show that to you because maybe, and you could look through the back test, maybe it shouldn't be 1, 3, 5. Maybe it should be just 1 and 5. Maybe it should be 2 minute, 5 minute, 8 minute. You could test for that. You know, you need the skill set to do that, but that's very, very powerful, very powerful. And it could be different from market to market. And cool. It's a beautiful thing. So we're going to continue to let it run. I hope you're having a good morning. And we could see this here. Now, this was interesting. You know, the machine put a short in here. Do you see that little short? And it ended up getting a little break even stop. It stopped itself out. And we were looking like, well, you know, maybe it missed it. But you know what? Would have been a very bad, you know, but we've got this configured to play very defensively because I thought that, I thought that the market could be playing in a really tight range. So it's doing what I wanted it to do, and it's playing very, very hard. Lots of fun. Hands-free. You're only limited by your imagination. Now, already, you know, our members are starting to offer up ideas. You start watching this. There are other things, and there are other tools, aspects of Swing Machine over here that we'll be able to layer in. Maybe you want to not just have multiple time frames, but do you know that on this chart, we could also add in, let me just show you. Here's the data stream, edit symbol. We could add a fourth data stream, and it wouldn't be the NQ. It could be the VIX for the NASDAQ and put that in there too. And we could say, well, if the VIX is trending down or trending up, then yes, take the orders. And if it isn't, don't take them. Automatically, robotically. That's crazy good. When did the VIX on the 5-minute start trending down? 9:45. That was this, you know, the signal to say, hey, if the VIX, again, if the VIX on Swing Machine is trending down, just take buys. Boom, boom, boom. If the VIX starts trending up, just take the sells. Boom, boom, boom. Who gives a crap about the CPI and anything else, right? Now, did we leave money on the table? Yeah, we did. So what? Improved on the Swing Machine. That's good news. The Swing Machine was very accurate to begin with, though. Yeah. Well, it's basically, it isn't improved. It's doing it. It isn't, it's Swing Machine hasn't changed. It's doing it, always has. It's just that a person would need to do it. To do multiple time frames, you would have had to have done it mechanically, discretionary, visually. Now we always could, but it just not as accurately. But now it's much more accurate. We can trade the multiple time frames from the chart. And so, you know, we're all about mechanization, mechanization, you know, so that your hand isn't form fitted to the mouse. So we're going to let her run, and the paint bar is perfectly matched to the 1 minute. The 1 minute paint bar, perfectly matched. So whatever box color this is, if it's green, then the paint bar is green. If this 1 minute it goes into a dip and turns yellow, then the paint bar will turn yellow. If it gets short, it will turn red. But the 1 minute will only go long if the 3 and the 5 minute along here, the driving force. Ultimately, we can build in, and we will build in, consideration of what the VIX is doing. And even though we build all these conditions into the code, where one has to learn, and why we require someone to go through the Q school, is that we build into the code optionality, so that the individual member can decide what timeframes they want to run. What do they want to use a VIX as a filter? You know, and do their own testing, and so that's it, there's a learning curve to that, right? It wouldn't be very responsible for us to just, you know, you wouldn't be able to run it. You know, you'd be able to run it, but you know, you hear about people going out and buying a Lamborghini, and then they drive it off the lot and they crash, you know, down the street into a pole because it's a lot of car, right? And so a program like this is very, very powerful. Very powerful. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. And we appreciate the like buttons, and we appreciate the retweets. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And now we can still, you know, I didn't have, you could set this up just so that, you know, we have it so that it's robotic. We're sitting back, and the trades are going in and out. We could, as I described, intervene and take some profits, which we haven't done. We haven't done that since midnight. We're just letting it run. We're vetting the execution of these trades, right? That they're doing precisely what we want them to do. Now, what you can also do, though, with a trading robot is you don't have to let the robot put the trade in. At TradeStation, there's a setting whereby it will call for confirmation. So the trade won't go in, but it'll send a pop-up onto your screen, or send a text to your phone and say, hey, I'm looking to go short or go long. And then you have options there in that text. It might say, ignore, take me to the chart, take me to my trade manager, or yes, execute the trade. That's pretty cool. Now, you may not want to do that on a 1, 3, 5 minute thing, but what if you have a life, right? And I'm doing this because I want to, and I love to do this, right? So this is our thing. But other folks have another life, right? I had another life at one time, right? I used to work with surgeons and all that. But maybe you want to have your home computer monitoring the 15-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour. Okay, well, those trades are going to those trades that tee up, they may only come every couple of days. You know, I mean, the 1 hour on Swing Machine has like been crazy. Like, in fact, let me just come up here and show you. Oops, I gotta be careful I don't mess up my. Here's the 60-minute. This is insane. The 60-minute Swing Machine went long 90 hours ago. 90 hours ago. And you'd be up 10,000. Well, bagger, I can't sit here for 90 hours, hour by hour by hour, waiting. No, well, I kind of do, but I kind of do. But so just on that alone, you can set an alert. You can highlight. So when and that's why we're always saying, like, it can't get by us. Now I don't know when this thing does go short, and it is going to go short at some point. I don't know when, but when it does, I'm going to see it. But how would you see it? Well, if you have this on your home computer, or you have it on your mobile, but you could have it so that it sends you a text, and it would say, hey, 60-minute NQ is going short. If you did that 90 days or 90 hours ago and you put one NQ on, that's 10 grand. Now, is it going to do it every single time? No, but you get a few of those. That's on the hour. The daily, I don't know if I should show you the daily. It'll make you puke. So, you got these folks like, I'll go ahead and say it. You got things like, I see it on Twitter sphere, hedge eye. Are you, and this guy's like, we timestamp it, timestamp. Yeah, oh, timestamp this. I will timestamp it. And him and his macro team and all that, I shouldn't, it's ridiculous though, because they charge you for this, they charge you for that, they charge you for this, they charge you for that. They talk down to you. You ever listen to them? They talk down to people. I don't talk down to anybody. We're trying to empower our members. I want you to be able to do this. You don't need a macro team. You don't really need me to filter a bunch of macro babble. You don't. Let me show you. So Hedge Eye's doing his thing, and they had everybody shorting the market. Look at this on a daily. Swing Machine on a daily has been long for 66 days. 66 days. It went long at 12,466 at 5 p.m. on June. That's March. The trend is solid, and yeah, we're extended. One mini contract, no macro babble, no moving averages, no MACD, no, there's a whole cottage industry, Federal Reserve this, Federal Reserve that, interest rate this, and you want to build in interest rates. I'm all for that, but let's test it. $54,000 with one mini. 54,000. One micro, $5 grand. 10 minis, $500,000. These folks are trading thousands of these things. It's how they get to build the big buildings. So anyways, do I sound excited about it? I'm passionate about it. It's a great, great tool. And we're constantly learning ourselves of what we can do. But I just wanted to show you that. That's not what we're running here, because we're just trying to demonstrate, create some awareness. I got to put this back here. There we go. And so we dress this up a little bit on Zoom so that it looks better to you. Excuse me. So we're running here when we had some more folks come in through YouTube. Let me explain to you what we do. This is one approach that we have with Swing Machine. However, please know there are many different ways to trade Swing Machine, but this is one of the more common ones that we like to teach. So let me show you what we do. Again, I'm going to get a little marker here from Zoom. What we've asked people to do in the past is take a look at the 5-minute and ask yourself, let's see, do I have a question mark on this thing? Yeah, I do. All right. So we ask everybody, take a look. I wish I could color code that, but I can't seem to do that with Zoom. I got to learn how to do that. That's supposed to be a question mark. What is the 5-minute doing? If the 5-minute is long and the 3-minute is long, only take one and trade the 1 minute, but only take the 1-minute trades in the direction of the 3 and the 5. So if the 1 minute is long and one of these two, they're not long, don't take the trade. Right? So when we look at this, we do something like this. Maybe I'll just do this freehand. Easier. Zoom needs to improve. So we'll come in and say, check check, and check. Now, and we'd usually just say, just take the cream, just take the first one. And that can take a little bit of time for those conditions to set up. If this is short and this is short, then we would only take the 1 minute in the direction of the dominant trend and take them short, is the idea. We always could program on a chart for the 1 minute, any one of these time frames individually, to take the individual trade. Okay, so we could always do that singularly, robotically. Doing it with multi-time frames has been a challenge. That's what we're doing though today. And we've had a beautiful breakthrough in our coding, and that's what it's literally doing that. And we have the capacity now from that to do a tremendous amount. Not only can we trade multi-time frames, which enables us to take a look back over a period of weeks, months, maybe and now that we could look at the back test, maybe 135 isn't the best time. Maybe it should be 2 minute, 5 minutes, 8 minute. We can now look and see that. We can see that kind of detail. Then we can see run-ups and run-downs and average winners, average losers, all kinds of things. And so on this chart, which you can't really see, is it isn't just the NQ 1 minute. We have 2 additional data streams going into this chart. Then we don't want to see the data because it would be too confusing. We can see it up here, but it's being compressed in here. Now, the other thing that we can do, and now we can have as many as 99 data streams, right? We have technically that capacity. We're not going to, I don't think we're ever going to do that, but we could, right? The other thing that we can do is we can then filter not just the NQ, but we could filter another market at exactly the same time. Well, why the hell would we want to do that? Well, what if you're trading, well, for instance, and here the optimum market might be the VIX, and maybe it should be the NASDAQ VIX, not the VIX for the S&P. And if the VIX, if Swing Machine's algo is doing such and such on the VIX, maybe then it shouldn't take those trades. Maybe it should. Maybe, so very, very powerful. What if you're trading, what if you want to trade the euro? Well, multiple time frames on the euro, but maybe you want to know multiple time frames on what the dollar's doing. And when they're both, because they're both opposite, when they're both opposite, then you get, your peers trading, and you're doing it robotically. Beautiful stuff. You don't have to be a coder. You don't have to be a coder. And there's a lot of coders out there, right? But there are not, and there are a lot of traders out there, but there are not a lot of traders and coders. We're very good. We've been doing this a long time. We haven't been doing this for 6 months, 6 years. Susan and I have been doing this for a long time. Now, I don't come from Wall Street. I don't even come from Okay, and now the machine just took the trade here, right here. And she's perfectly executing it. Now, I could, I just want everyone to understand. Now, why did it do that? It did that. Now, you could sit here and we've asked people to do it, and we have members that are doing it. But this is going to be very, very helpful to them because I programmed this through an option. Ordinarily, you can say, well, Don, it went long 32 minutes ago. It did. But if you notice, it dipped. Remember, it dipped right in here. And I programmed it to take the dip. Ordinarily, we wouldn't bother. We would just wave that off because it gets a little bit hairy, But I went ahead and powered it. And so the machine said, yep. I was dipping, but it's just the dip. And, I want to go with the dominant trade. And I went ahead and taken it. Now I'm going to let this run itself out as an example, but I could come up and I could exit that trade if I wanted to, take a little bit of profit if I don't like the looks of it. But also there are built-in exits, which I don't want to get into here, but there are other built-in exits that will control and mitigate our risk. And I want to see them play out here. So, but that's what's going on. There's a lot going on. Now, if I was trying to do this visually, be pretty, and do this all night long, all day long, every single day, it'd get a little crazy. I mean, I'd be a little crazy. But that's what we're doing. Now, maybe you have your own ideas. We have now over 65, pushing 70 proprietary strategies, which we could refer to trading robots, proprietary show me studies, paint bars. That paint bar, by the way, is perfectly matching this box right here. We are not using moving averages. There's no way this would work as smoothly as it is without using moving averages and MACDs. That shit just doesn't work. Now, I could intervene, right? I just want you to know we're up $100, right? We've only been in it for a couple of minutes. I could go up and grab that $100 and add to my kitty down here. I'm not going to do that, right? I just want everyone to know. Right. I'm letting the machine, my mouse is up over here. I'll put it up there in the corner. So I'm happy to answer any questions. More importantly, why do we do it this way? We don't want to be vested emotionally into the greed and fear of every individual trade. We're basically saying, I'm saying is that I am the most ignorant person in the market. I don't know anything, right? Everybody knows much more than me, much smarter. They're much smarter. They got everything. All I want to do is track money flow. And if all those smart people are doing whatever it is they're doing with their money, and I can track the money flow, and I can move my money in and move my money out and collect, at the moment, these things called dollars, and, there are 20 trading days in a month. If I get $300 a day, that's $6,000 a month. But I've got to, I know that, I've got to, if I'm trying to do it mechanically or discretionary, where most people are doing it, that can be a hard way to go. Controlling the emotions, you get kind of worn out. All right. So we're going to let this play itself out. Maybe a losing trade. We're not trying to demonstrate an outcome here. I'm only going to be on until about noon. We're just coming on in the middle part of the day to show. We told everybody that we're going to go from about 11 to noon to show you what we're doing, what we're about. Not trying to show an outcome. We're just trying to give you an idea as to what is possible. And there the machine says, nope, I don't like that. And he executed a stop loss. Now, how did I know where the stop loss would be? How do I know? That's where we spend all our time in the Q school, is educating folks on how you can take these trading robots and interpret the data. And that's what's going to be all important. Now we're running in parallel. I just want to take a look at something. So we're always comparing and contrasting. All right, so this is crazy, right? I want to show you something. See if I can bring this into view. I can. All right, so let me show you this. All right, do you see this trading manager here? Now I programmed this to buy the dips and sell the rips, right? Because if she goes long again here on this dip, she's going to go long again. I just want you to know that, right? She's going to go long again. So but what I did was, you can't see it, but I have another screen, and I opted not to take the dips over here. And last night, for this time, we're here, we're up 1275. Now, yesterday, not so good, but and then here is the performance graph over this is over approximately a 2-week period. Let me show you. This is fairly narrow at 1.22. If you were trading discretionary and you were trying to do it mechanically, that might be a hard way to go, because it just, it's a little narrow. I'd want to be doing better than that. But when you have the machine that can do that type of performance, it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's just easier on the psyche. I hope that makes sense. When we show you the back test, I want to be careful. Please don't send me emails, and now people do it anyways, but hey, Bagger, I want to know the performance of that robot. Show me what that robot can do. I want a trial. Look, we're not making I'm not making specific recommendations to buy or sell anything. Okay, I'm not telling you what to do with your money. I'm not soliciting money to manage. I'm not. We're a mentoring site. We're an educational site. So we're not a signaling service, right? If you want the education, you want the tools so that you can take them and apply your experiences, your, gray matter, and for performance, then, you might want to check us out. That's all. But, we do get a lot of folks, like, they'll just say, they'll see a pass through and, well, show me there. I want to see the performance of that robot over the last, 2 weeks, because I want to see, no, we show you when we even look at those the performances, we're using that. How we even use that information is probably, over the scope of most people on the Twitter sphere. They're just looking at the information. Oh, it's going to make me money. It isn't. Something what's happened in the past may or may not happen in the future. So, and that's true, and it's really important. What's important about those back tests, it can tell us where the stop loss should be. Right now, this thing may turn around and continue running, and if it does, it's going to go long. But if it continues to break down, well, we're not still going to be long. Here was one here. It shorted here. And you can see it took us out with a break even stop right here. And it's a good darn thing that it did, because if it had run down and hadn't hit a profit target, I wouldn't want to have been short from, that would have made for a very bad trade, a very bad day. But we set up these exits um, based on the back test. And you need to learn how to do that. And that's what we, spend 3 weeks with folks. So, any case, we got about 10 minutes to go to noon. I would like to have finished on a high note, but it is what it is. We're going to keep running. If you have any questions, feel free to punch them up, and feel free to visit the site. You're welcome to call. And this isn't trading isn't for everybody. I've been, and I don't think a person should eat, sleep, trade. Seemingly it may seem like I do, but I'm doing exactly what I want to do. I really, really enjoy doing this, and it's cool for us. Um, Susan gets in, does her trading in the morning, and is on her way. um, so it's up to you. You know, it can be a hard endeavor because there aren't many professions in life whereby you go to work or you go do something, and if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. You don't get the sale, you don't, whatever it is, right? You know, but they don't take money out of your pocket, right? You still get paid, even though when you're trading, um, when you get the trade wrong, the market's going to take money out of your pocket, and it'd be painful. And so we try to spend a lot of time with folks during the Q school, making you aware of some things and how to approach that so that we can help you get or get over the hurdle of your fear and your greed. And there's a knack to that. There really is. And once you do, once we can hopefully, hopefully get you over that hump, you may never look back. Wall Street and Madison Avenue have merged into one, and they play on your fears, they play on your greed, and most traders, and they're in that realm of discretionary trading, and they know that, and they're going to own you. They're absolutely going to own you. What we're doing here, I've drawn a comparison to like a butcher. You got a piece of meat, it hangs on a hook, it's on a chain, and it just goes down, at least in the old days, and the piece of meat would slide down the chain, and the butchers would carve this off, carve that off. Maybe there's a guy that cuts whatever, his particular cut of meat. For us, the NASDAQ today is a piece of meat. It's hanging on a hook, and it's going down the chain, and this is our butcher. This is our tool, and it's here to carve some meat off that bone. I really don't give a crap in this trading setup, in this trading view, whether the NASDAQ goes to 17,000 or goes to 10,000. And I got news for you. The folks that build those big buildings in New York and Chicago, they don't give a crap either. The only people who give a crap about where the NASDAQ goes are the media, because they like to report on good news, the politicians, and then everybody else who's got money in a 401k. And they don't want you doing this, just like they don't want you doing a whole lot of other things in life, right? They don't make it easy. They don't want you doing this. They want you to, to believe in the fairy tale. The folks who are most concerned with the NASDAQ, and I would be, if I'm 40 years old and I want to retire in 10 years and I got all my bread in the NASDAQ, I need that NASDAQ to go to 30,000. Maybe it does. It's done it for the last 10 years, right? Maybe it does. But what happens if it goes to 5,000 over the next 10 years and I'm 40 and all my retirement is in there? What am I going to do? You're going to work another 30 years. They're not going to care. Nobody's going to give a shit. This was the conversation Susan and I had in the early 2000s. Said, Susie, we had done well. We had done very well. I was fortunate. I was probably lucky. I bought into the crap. But I got to a place where I had put in enough hours. That, isn't this ridiculous? Isn't this absurd? By the way, it's not shorting. It isn't taking the short. Maybe you would want to short it, right? You could do a hybrid. You could do, robotic trading and then say, yeah, I get this. You know what? I think I'm gonna carve a little piece of meat off. Okay, yeah, you can do that. I mean, it's not against the rules, once in a while. I will only, if I am making a decision to enter or to exit, which I'm not doing here today, but if I am going to do that, I'm only going to do it at most, on average, no more than 5 times in a day. 5. That's enough decisions for me. I'd prefer it only be 1 or 2. I'm not doing it 10, 20, 30 times. I don't care if the machine does it 10 to 20, 30 times because it's a machine, but I don't want to do that. So I just want to, but you could, I just want you to know. But what is more than likely going to happen here is that this is likely to come back up and start running again. As long as that 5 minute, and if there's 3 and the 5 are still doing that, still in the right position on this algo, then the machine will get us long again. But I don't even really have to think about it. I can be on a treadmill. I can take Ted for a walk. I can go to the mailbox. I'm not tethered. I don't have carpal tunnel. I hope that makes sense a little bit, but it's your chance to ask any questions. This is just one tool. We have, there's many different markets, and we have punched up on other screens, other tools that we're working on right now that are really, really visual and really, really cool. If you want to be that visual trader, we won't necessarily fight that. We'll help build some tools for you, but this is purely robotic. And for our members, one of the things that we will do is, because we keep everything, right? All the code that we've written over the years, we keep everything. And if you have an idea or you have a concept, maybe of something that you're doing, um, we will be available for annual members to write that code. Is with the provision, two provisions. One, it's within our skill set, which we haven't run into anything yet that we haven't been able to do, other than maybe some sort of technical limitation. But to date, we haven't had any. And two, we don't have a deadline, right? But if it's something that holds a lot of promise and is, we have a vested interest in wanting to get it done. And so we'll try to get it done as quickly as possible. There's maybe a third contingency to that too. So and we don't charge anybody for that, right? So if you've done or been in contact, and we've done all our own coding, right? So we do all our own coding for our trading. We've done all our own website design, everything. We do that ourselves. It's very empowering to have that. If you have it, great. We don't dissuade anybody from doing that. I think it's great. We don't teach coding. We're kind of self-taught, but we have a lot of members now that are software engineers that, which is great. The caveat to that is, though, we don't charge anybody. When we develop a program and roll it out to our members, we'll describe it as a beta program. And we have a group of members that say, hey, anything that's beta, send it to me. We have another group that says, geez, I really don't have the time. Keep me informed, but I don't have the time to beta test anything. We may keep something in a beta testing for weeks or months. Ultimately, if it passes muster, we're still working with it. Members are still working with it. We may tweak this, tweak that, and it gets into what we call the library. We'll drop the designation of a beta test and put it into our library. And then everybody gets that. And we'll announce that to all of our annual members. They'll all get it. And now, and we keep them. But I will say this, over the course of years, so we got quite a few, various strategies will come into play more than others. They will come in and out of favor. It's just, the market conditions change. The one that has really stood the true test of time is Swing Machine. Does just, really, really good. But so I described that. Coders, if you've looked, they're very, very good at what they do, from even web designs to, to writing a program, but they get $200-300 an hour. And most of them, it's a minimum of 4 hours. It takes time to do this, to write these codes and to get them right. Not only time to write them, but then, just time to make sure that, and we got eyes on them. And then, you want to, know how to adjust them, how to, decide what you want to do. So this, this is a good looking stop loss here. Could you have, come in manually and faded this here a little bit? Yeah. Where is she headed? She's going to probably go down. Maybe, if I'm doing this visually, come down to this little swing point at 15,132. Maybe. Does she break it? She does. Maybe she's coming down here. Just who would have thunk it here? We broke this down. We break these are being drawn out automatically, and then she rejects. No, I'm not going any lower, Mr. Market. I'm not going lower, and she goes ripping higher. Who's doing that? Do you think it's a bunch of people like in the 80s and 90s on their bag phones on I-95, driving up and down, calling their brokers and their brokers? Remember those days? Driving the market higher? No, I don't think so. Are they on their cell phones, the TikTokers? I don't think so. They're too busy flashing their boobs. doing what they're doing. They're not. No, they're along for a ride. It's machines. You know it. I know it. We knew it back in the early 2000s. It's machines. It's um it's crazy what they're doing. Even from web design. Boy, did we get an education, but we just brought up our a new website and stuff, and we've got attached to it now Google Analytics and stuff. It's amazing. It is amazing the information that we can see. We can see we have it provides a map of the world. We can see the website being hit in various parts of the world, individual pages, just all through Google Analytics. I, the rooms that you used to see in years gone by, I remember Goldman Sachs and those guys and JP Morgan, they would have a big room, three, four, 500 traders in there, buying and selling, selling and buying. They're not there anymore. They're gone. They're gone. So, anywho, there's a lot you can do. In front, the idea is hedging various markets. Why would you hedge? Smooth out, volatility. We could be running this configuration. I could split this screen. I could have over here the NQ running long, and then over here I could have had, maybe 5 micros running short. And we could be hedging the markets. Why would you hedge? You smooth out the volatility. But there's no jumping the shark, right? There's no that's why it's frequent. We'll get people send us like, well, I'm really not interested in the Q school, which is the education, which always gives me a concern. And then they'll say, but I want to trial it for a week. Oh, that's you miss what we're about. I'm not, if you think you're just gonna go to the driving range, you're gonna watch one video, and you're just gonna go to the driving range for a week and hit a couple of buckets of balls and then go out and play real great competitive golf. I mean, good luck. That's not happening. you know and it isn't going to happen with the robotic trading either. There's no jump in the shark. You do need to have good discretionary skill, mechanical skill, robotic skill, and you need to keep working it, honing it, getting better understanding. And I'm not going to disclose here on YouTube, but we've already got we've got uh, a list of projects of things that we want to achieve and do. And we got a lot, there's a lot of people with a lot of eyes, with a whole lot of different experiences, as members that are also have eyes on this or these tools, and it's where they come from. So let's see if we can get another. So if this 1 minute goes long and these two are still long, then we will get the buy, and this would look better to my eye. Can we trade the swing points? Yes, we can. Yeah, these are swing points. Can we trade them? Yep, we sure can. How might you trade them? Do you buy off of support? Do you sell off of support? Do you sell the breakdowns? Do you play the breakouts? But can we do that? Yeah, we can. Can we do both? Yeah, we probably could. We haven't written that specifically yet, but it only matters what you do as well, right? So it doesn't, we may have members that, took various trades, did 2 or 3 trades, made their $600, $700, maybe $1,200, and they're done. And that's what they've done. What they do doesn't matter to you. It only what you do. Okay, so this will be our last trade with y'all. We ran a little bit over, and as you can see, the 1 minute did in fact go ahead and take this long, and we'll see if we can get a run up. If it runs up, it's got exits built in, but I didn't put that trade on. It's just doing its thing. And so for better or for worse, we're going to let it run itself out, and then we do have to sign off because we need the computer resources. It takes quite a bit to do the the live sessions too. And hopefully, maybe one's goals are how do I put it? Modest. If it's $100 a day, you're looking at $2,000 a month, 200s, 4,000. You know, I'm not sure that as a brand new trader, you're just going to come rolling in and making $1,000 a day. It's 20,000 a month, you know, as a brand new trader. And I think a lot of people start, maybe with some unreal expectations, but not here. We try to do our best to make sure that you're fully aware of what this is, what it is not. Okay, folks, she took a little break even stop. And so we're going to finish where we are on YouTube. And it is what it is, but we're going to keep doing our thing. You're more than welcome to, to follow for free and reach out anytime. All right. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was a little helpful, a little eye-opening. And, we're not trying to present, a get rich quick scheme. We're just trying to showcase a little bit about how we go about doing our trading. And we're going to continue for the day. We'll get we're going to get that meat in the chest, so to speak, carve it off. All right. Be good. Good luck.